Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we will be reviewing a new series, Never Ever Met, Season 1, Episode 1.
Listen here, this is not only a new series for us to review, this is a new series for y'all to watch. This is a new show on the OWN network, I believe it was on.
Yes.
Listen here, I need y'all to subscribe. I need y'all to like, share, comment, just in case you didn't get it. Her name is Blair. This is my wife. My name is Christopher. I am the husband. You ready to walk us through this, Blair?
I'm ready.
Her job is to walk us through it. My job is to impede her path as much as possible. So bear with us. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
So this show, they give us the premise, which is 7 couples who have dated virtually are meeting for the first time. They'll be in a house together for 3 weeks to see if they have a connection in person.
Okay.
They will also have friends and family who will come to get to know their partners. They'll have therapists there to work through some issues. At the end, the couples will decide whether or not they want to take things as far as dating in the real world or whether they're going to go their separate ways and be single at the end of everything.
Just on that premise alone, Blair, what are your thoughts?
I think this is going to be crazy.
Okay.
Number one, I was thinking like, well, what if some of these people are catfishes? Like, what if they aren't who they say they are? So already I was kind of on like pins and needles, like, well, what's going to happen?
You see, that's the thing. I wasn't concerned about the catfish when it came to appearance, right? So much of the whole thing of like, we've been dating and then we're going to meet and then we going to see if we can take our relationship into the real world. And I'm just like, whoa, you've been in the real world this whole time. Why have y'all not seen each other? There's one relationship in here who we going to talk about throughout this series and things like that. I think she said they dated for 12 years and didn't see each other.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, Oprah, what you got going on your on your channel?
As well as another relationship where they live in the same city and never have seen each other.
So I'm just like, okay, let's get into it.
So to introduce our couples, we have Shay, who's the guy.
Yeah.
No, the lady. Sorry, she lives in Florida. Josh lives in Tennessee. They've been dating for 12 years.
Didn't see each other. That is the one couple.
We've got Joanna from Illinois, Aaron J. from Georgia. They've been dating for 9 months.
They are already interested already.
Diamond from Florida, Aaron H. from California, dating 5 years. They're our oldest couple.
Yeah.
She's in her 40s, and I believe he's like 51.
Yeah, I believe they both was preacher kids when they was young.
Alexis from Texas, her boyfriend Dominique in Illinois. They've been dating for 6 months.
Now this is the Chicago man right here. This is who we saw that left at the cliffhanger at the end of the show.
Right.
These two. So these two already let us know that they gonna be the anchors of the show. Yeah. I don't think in a good way, but we go tune in to see this train wreck basically.
Right. We've got Sienna from New York, Brandon from Florida, dating 10 months.
Okay, this is the one that like to be the flirt.
Sandia from Florida, Chris from Florida, dating 3 months.
Okay.
We've got Millie from California, Greg from California. They both live in LA.
All right.
Dating 3 years.
Right. Mind you, they haven't seen each other in person.
Right.
Crazy.
So we first get into the house. 3 of the women arrive. We've got Diamond there, as well as, I believe, Joanna and Shay. They're all looking around the house, checking things out. And the bedrooms are set up to where it's kind of feels like summer camp in a way. So we've got a women's room with beds for the women, separate beds for the women, and a men's room with separate beds for the men.
What was your thoughts on that? Because I would think that if this is your boyfriend, granted you never seen him, never been around him, why would you want to share a room with him?
I was thinking like they would have rooms for the couples. I mean, I was hoping everyone could have their individual room, which might be a lot to ask, but I would think that they would have rooms for the couples. So to have a men's and a women's room was a little bit off for me with these people having dated for so long. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I don't think it's like when you say couples room, you mean like basically you couple them together?
Yeah.
I was lost that they all gonna stay there.
Okay.
so like why would you think that they should be in a room together or sleep together in a room if they haven't seen each other there?
I don't know. I guess because I figured they're really together, but I guess they're not really together. I don't know.
I mean, they're physically not together. Yeah. So like to see each other for the first time and then to basically share a room for the first time, I'm just like...
That can be overwhelming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm already overwhelmed with the premise of the show.
Well, Diamond says that she's not going to sleep with the women because she doesn't do women because they're catty.
Okay.
All right.
It seems like you're catty because you kind of told on yourself.
And everybody else seemed pretty chill for now, but we'll see. Millie is talking to Greg. They're the ones that live in LA.
Yeah.
The ladies get called outside by the host, Taronda Jones. She tells them that the men have been secretly planning a first date and they need to get ready to go out to meet their men.
Now, it's so interesting. They planning the first date on the show.
Yes.
12 years, you behind, brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 3 years, you behind, brother. 5 years, you behind. 3 months, you behind. But okay, on the show, we go plan this first date. Okay, I'm ready. I'm really interested to see this.
So I thought it was really interesting just seeing the ladies getting ready. Sienna was asking people to borrow a razor, and I get it. I understand. Sometimes you don't have everything. But I was like, at the same time, I'm like, you're coming here. You don't know anybody. Please come prepared.
No, these are not children. I'm not giving passes. You as a grown woman, if you didn't already shave, you should already have your razor and things of that nature. That is not clean.
Okay.
That is nasty. Okay.
And we've also got Joanna in the corner eating hot fries and pickles as her snack. And I was just like, I hope she brushed her teeth before she got ready for the date.
Let her eat her flaming hot Cheetos, man.
So Shay, Diamond, and Alexis, they're downstairs talking while everybody's getting ready. And Diamond is asking them how they feel about what they want for their relationships. Alexis doesn't want any more kids. She already has children. Dominique has kids of his own. She's not interested in having the kids back in Pampers. Shay says that she wants a husband, a family. Like, she really wants to make this her last guy and have that white picket fence dream with him. So, first dates. We've got Brandon and Sienna.
Okay.
Brandon planned a cooking class.
Wow.
I was like, this is a really nice date idea because it gives them something to do to where a little bit of the pressure is off of us trying to find things to talk about and trying to impress each other.
Why?
And more so on an activity that we can enjoy together and things kind of flow more naturally. So I like the idea of the cooking
Why
class.
are you saying the pressure of having something to talk about? We've been together for years or months.
But I'm saying there's nerves when they first meet each other. I think it takes a little bit of the pressure off.
Listen here.
Okay.
As adults, y'all chose not to meet each other.
Okay.
Right? So whatever pressure you have and things like that, somebody commented on another video that we did that I say things of that nature a lot. I do. I'm going to try to stop, but I can't stop. Okay? Won't stop. Right? Take that. But but my thing is, you don't have to. Y'all felt so comfortable not meeting each other, so I'm very interested in why you feel like, or I find it interesting rather, that like they can take the nerves off and things like that. I'm like, these people are meeting for the first time, but they've been together for 12 years. They've been together for 6 years. They've been together for 5 months. So I'm like, I wouldn't think there would be nerves.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, he thinks she looks stunning. She is super giggly.
Of course.
And she feels a bit of the chemistry in the air.
Okay.
Next, Dominique and Alexis.
Oh, my goodness, Lord.
Dominique planned a yoga date. Her first impression was that he was fine.
Let's start right here.
Okay.
Don't judge a book by a cover. Do not judge a book by its cover. Do Dominique look like he do yoga?
No. I think he wanted to see her toot that thing up.
Toot it up. Toot it and boot it up.
See how she could toot it up.
Listen here, man. Dominique's the one. I understand he's from Chicago. He's from a part of Chicago. I think he connect with somebody else. I think they from Inglewood, Chicago. From Inglewood, Chicago. Listen here, man. I'm not saying you don't do yoga, but I think I can say you don't do yoga.
Okay.
so to see him playing his yoga date and things like that, I'm just like, oh man. And look, she is happy. This one thing I also wanted to say too. I think when it comes to this, the women would be less judgmental when it comes to appearance. Because they already feel an emotional attachment to the relationship.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like this is slightly different than the show Catfish, because I think these people turned out to be real.
Yes.
As in when it came out to, like, who they're dating. But I think they're dating someone that they don't know. And that's really the catch of the show. But yeah, so she thinks he's fine. Okay.
Yes, he thinks that she looked good, but it really wasn't quite hitting for him.
Rude.
He said the body wasn't doing the same thing it was doing in the pictures.
Okay.
And we do see some pictures that she had from online, and she was heavily filtered, but she has a great body. Alexis has a great body.
Yeah.
But she did have like heavy filters on and was posing certain ways. But I don't know. I didn't think she looked that different from the pictures.
Just gonna do translation for like the men who don't understand man language. He called her ugly.
Oh.
He basically said she's ugly. It's not hitting it for me. I don't know what that means. That means she's ugly.
Oh.
That's what he's saying.
Well, he's helping her with her arch, so they're not really going through no yoga flows.
Of course not. I ain't seen no yoga instructor or nothing.
He's helping her with her arch. She says the sexual chemistry is strong. He tells her, you want to get married tonight? You know, Vegas isn't far. So even though things ain't hitting, he over here making jokes about marriage. So
listen here, man. It's called just a little, I'm just playing along with you. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna get what I want. You get what I'm saying? I've been with you, haven't seen you out. I'm gonna get my investment.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna skedaddle. Listen here, man. Just this scene alone already lets me know this guy is going. This is going to be a toxic relationship off top. It just came off as a little weird to watch that she was letting him put his hands on her in that way, put her in these positions in that way. Even though you could say they are in a relationship, I'm just like, y'all even said it in the intro. In the real world, though, it just seems kind of weird,
Next, we have Greg and Millie. Greg, they haven't met up, even though they live in the same city, because he hasn't wanted to mess things up. He has a paddle boating date planned. She says that she doesn't know if he's really 6'2", but when she sees him, she sees that, okay, he really is 6'2". She's got her heels on. She feels good and comfortable. He thinks that she's fire.
Okay.
She wanted to make sure that she got to see a serious side of him because she didn't want to be just joking all the time. But I will say she was very giggly and was laughing at like almost everything he said, even if it wasn't a joke.
Of course.
So I think she was just really excited.
Of course.
So Dominique and Alexis, he set up mimosas for them. At first, he was thinking that he wasn't attracted to her. Then he thought, maybe we could work on that.
Listen here, don't let a man tell you, I think I can work with you. You know what I'm saying?
That's like crazy for him to say. He says that they are exclusive. She ends up sitting on his lap and making out with him.
I mean, tonguing them down.
Yes.
Tonguing each other. Go ahead.
Greg and Noelle. Greg got her a big penguin.
Okay.
Drinks, snacks. He tells her that he's all in if she is. And her name is not Noelle. It's Greg and Millie.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. Greg got her a penguin. She was like, he listens because she really likes penguins. He tells her that he's all in if she is, and he is willing to take the lead. She feels really good about how the first date went. And I thought it was a good date. I thought they had chemistry. I didn't think that anything seemed forced. And it seems like they really got to vibe and just enjoy each other's company. Next, Brandon and Sienna.
Oh, my goodness.
They are eating the food that they prepared. She says that she likes him. He seems to be fun to be around, and he's also very intelligent.
Okay, listen here. So far, so good. Even though the premise is weird, we are getting good dates so far. We are getting very good dates. So let's keep going.
Yes, Josh and Shay. So Josh's fear of not seeing Shay is that she might not like him in person. He has some childhood trauma. He wants to know what it's like to be loved.
Okay.
They kiss upon first meeting, like kissing each other down. Their date is at the Santa Monica Pier. She thinks they have the same chemistry as they did over the phone.
Okay.
They get on a roller coaster, and they really seem to have hit it off as soon as they saw each other.
Okay. Let's keep going.
Chris and Sandia. So Chris is telling us the sexual tension with them is on 1,000, and they sexed a lot.
Okay.
Now, I don't know how that translates to relationships and chemistry and long term, but hopefully it's not something that's super hot that's going to fizzle out when y'all see each other.
But she said, listen, the sexual tension is on 1,000. Let's go.
He's nervous how the chemistry will be in person. She's actually pretty excited to see him because they're actually color coordinated without even planning it.
Okay.
And he thinks that she looks exactly how she looked on her pictures.
Listen here, some things are just a coincidence, okay? Do not take this as a sign from God because we both wearing light blue, light gray, whatever color it was. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Some things just happen because it happened. You know what I mean?
Aaron and Joanna.
Uh-oh.
Aaron tells us why he never met Joanna. He says that he booked a flight, but he lost his ID, so he couldn't make the flight. And that's why they never met.
Now, let's start right here. Now, this is where I start impeding on Blair's path as much as possible.
Okay.
Your first thoughts of Aaron, because like that right there already lets me know what type of guy he was just off that excuse alone. Because I remember I had to take an emergency flight one time, recently actually, and I couldn't find my ID, right? But in the airport, to take a flight, you do not only need your ID. There is a line and a checkout line for if you do not have your ID that they can verify in other ways. So that right there lets me know you booked the flight, you lost your ID, and that's why you never met. That one time.
Yeah.
So that already lets me know you like to make excuses. You're an excuse maker. What was your first thoughts of Aaron?
Yeah, my first thoughts was that's not a good excuse.
It's not.
I'm like, number one, like, did you even call the airplane people or whatever? What do they call it?
Airport?
I'm like, did you call the airport and ask them what happens if you don't have your ID?
Google
it. Or even Google it, or run down to the MVA or DMV wherever you live and see if you can hurry up and get one.
No, you can't hurry up and get one. There's a line specifically made.
I know, but I'm just saying, if he really thought that he needed an ID, what was his efforts in trying to figure out what he could do about that situation?
Listen here,
if he went to the airport and was just like, oh, like I can figure something else out, then that's fine. But I feel like he didn't even go. He didn't even make no calls.
I feel like he didn't book the flight. I feel like he's lying.
Oh, you know what? You might be right.
So that's basically my whole point of what I'm saying.
My first thoughts is I don't trust Aaron.
He's lying. Like, you could take a flight without an ID. Okay? Like, that's why I'm like, he's lying. That's not a good enough excuse of why you didn't make the flight or why y'all never met. You're lying. But continue.
He thinks the roadblock they might have is that she seemed to have put a wall up around her heart.
Okay.
She thinks he was laying it on super thick when she first saw him, by the way he was standing, by the way he was walking. He had his thumbs in his pocket, shimmying on down to see her. I was just like, oh my gosh. So he tells her, you know, you're Latina, so I wanted to show you a little salsa routine. So he starts the salsa routine with her, trying to show her something, and she ends up teaching him and asking him, when is the last time you actually did salsa? When he was 8 years old.
What was your thoughts about Joanna correcting his salsa?
I was fine with it, honestly.
Really?
Because I feel like Joanna was trying to be real, and I feel like Aaron was trying to put on a front.
That's the thing about it.
So I feel like she was trying to break whatever he was trying to do so they can get to the real. And he was like not... He was making it very difficult for them to just be normal with each other.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know why you're dancing without music. I was like, Joanna, just let him have it. Sometimes when you're dating a guy, he's going to do weird things because he's nervous. But I will hope the weird thing that he does wouldn't take away the fact that he's being like, I hope he's still being himself. It just seemed like he wasn't being himself. So I kind of see exactly what you mean, Blair, because I'm like, Joanna, you ain't got to be Miss Know-It-All. But at the same time, if you're going to be Mr. Know-It-All in the sense of I know some salsa, you better know it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But go ahead.
So we move on to back to Shay and Johnson.
Yeah.
And Josh, sorry. They're on the Ferris wheel. They're enjoying the view. We find out he has a 13-year-old son and a 3-year-old daughter, which stood out to me because I'm like, how long? 12 years they've been dating? And he's talking about he never found love. Well, he found something. He found something. He's saying that he loves he would love to have kids with Shay, but he's in Tennessee, she's in Miami. He would like for them to find a midpoint because he can't be too far from the children.
Why would you set yourself up like that? Date somebody locally, man. Like you already got 2 kids and things like that. So like, why would you put yourself in a position to where you're making it harder to where we gotta meet somewhere in the middle? You gotta move, or like, because I can't be too far away from my children. I'm just like, then date somebody in your city, on your block, you know.
Aaron and Joanna. Aaron got wine and cheese. She's confused why wine is there because he doesn't drink wine. Oh, man. And when he tries to open up the bottle for her, he looks at the wine bottle. He looks at the corkscrew. He puts the corkscrew in his hand and just kind of smiles and looks at her. To the point where she says, "You don't know how to open it, do you?" Please. She said, "We could have just done something that we had in common. We have a lot of things in common." She felt that the date was just so unnatural, and he was trying to make it a date for her, but it actually didn't end up turning out fun. Aaron felt that the date was still enjoyable. She thought the date was a 6 out of 10.
That's graceful.
And she felt that he was trying too hard to impress.
Your thoughts on them as a couple so far?
So far, I don't see it working. I think Aaron needs to earth the Aaron, come down to earth, and just be yourself. I feel like he's really putting on, I don't know if it's the cameras or it's the nerves, and it could be all of that put together, and maybe it was just a really bad date, and I hope that he can redeem himself and just being a nice, genuine person. Like, that's all you have to be. So,
yeah, I don't think she likes him, and I was kind of looking for... You know, when you're in the early stages of the relationship, I'm like the funniest guy. I'm like the coolest guy, even though the things I'm doing is not that funny. Even the things I'm
like with Greg and Millie.
Yeah, it's like like because that's your guy. You like him. You kind of look past him not knowing how to open up the wine. You look past that he don't know how to dance in the salsa. You look past that he walking down with his thumbs inside his belt loops and things like that because you really like him. And I don't think she really likes him.
But I think he was being weird too.
But you like him though. Like this is not a first date in a situation to where like I met you last night, you met me online last night, and I say, hey, let's meet for the first time.
Yeah, there's been communication.
And like we have a first date. You don't know nothing about me. I don't know nothing about you. We are in a relationship, but we never met.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't think you like him because you seem very judgmental. Granted, you got a lot of things to judge, but I'm just like, usually, if she ain't giving you the grace now, if he ain't giving you the grace now in the beginning stages of the relationship, it's not going to last for you. You get what I'm saying?
And I can see where you're coming from, too, because she could have made a joke out of it.
Something.
You know what I'm saying? To make it light, to help relax him.
Something like...
Instead of being like, he's being strange.
Yeah, it's something like...
Like, she could have helped ease him, you know,
something
through the
like
day.
That, yeah.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
Something like, man, you know you don't drink no wine. Give me that. You know what I mean? Like it's like because I know you. We in a relationship, even though we never met. Yeah. You know, but it just seemed like she don't really like him. And granted, he is kind of a square, but that's not the point.
Right. Well, Chris and Sandia. So as they're sitting enjoying their charcuterie and wine, he tells her that he has a huge surprise planned for her, something that she's wanted to do all her life. And then we hear a whoosh, 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 whoosh.
I ain't hear no whoosh, but
I did. It was a helicopter.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say I watched Codes the other day. I ain't hear no whooshing. Okay.
It was a helicopter.
Let me hear your helicopter again.
Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
That sound like a helicopter going down. Hopefully it goes faster than that, okay? You know?
Well, a helicopter lands, and they have this helicopter ride. It's something that she has dreamt of, and she really appreciated that because he has been listening to her.
Listen, we both tongue-tied this morning. Listen, episode 2 gonna be so much better. Let's keep going.
Okay, Aaron and Diamond.
Uh-huh.
He says he is a BBW lover.
Okay.
He saw she was thick and knew he was good to go. She said the first kiss was amazing. They did tongue each other down.
A little too much.
He tells her that she's it. She's all he ever wanted. And she has to pause him because she needs some closure on the situation.
Yeah.
So apparently, a while back, he posted a ring on social media for a woman that he was going to propose to that was not her. And she wants to know, if you're serious about me, how could you do that?
And why would you do that? I need to know the answer to that too.
He said that when they decided to, go exclusive, he put the picture of the ring up. That was 2 years ago. He tells her that he loves her, but it seemed like it wasn't going to happen for them.
Okay.
He gave up for a second and he apologizes for that. He asked for her forgiveness. She says maybe, but she smiles, holds his hand, and then they both say they love each other.
What's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that, I'm like, if he's to the point where he's proposing to somebody else, that means he's been dating two people at the same time. So I would have took it if I was her to say like, oh, he's been cheating on me, because how can you possibly propose to somebody that you ain't been dating?
Yeah.
So also, I don't really like her.
Really?
I don't really like her.
Why? Judgmental Blair?
I don't like how she talks to him about the women. And I don't know if my opinion on her even really matters to the landscape of the show, but I just have a sense that she might be an issue. And one of the reasons I say that is because, and maybe it's just my way of how I prefer people to speak, and who cares? But at the end of the day, I'm just like, he's asking her like, do I have your forgiveness? Are we good? Da, 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 da. And she wants to play like the teenager. Maybe we'll see. And then we see on like previous to that, when they were on like FaceTime and he was talking about how he really was into her and liked her, and she was like, well, you all right, I guess. I'm just like, this is very childish. I don't know how I feel about this. But what were you thinking? Do you see what I'm saying or not really?
I respect what you're saying. Okay. No. Because I like to make my judgmental on people once I can actually put the name to the faces. I'm still like
trying to figure out who's who.
I'm trying to put his. I see his face, but I kind of don't. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And I see her, and I know, and like I know who you talk about with her. I'm gonna look out for it.
Okay.
Throughout the season. All
right.
With her, based on what you said. With him, I don't know what he mean when he said, I didn't think it was going to happen. That's what I'm on. Like, your job as a man is to make things happen. You know what I'm saying? If y'all like each other to the point where she's upset that you posted a ring of like the ex-fiance or like the ex-girl that like you was going to propose to, like, what do you mean you didn't think it was going to happen? It wasn't going to happen because you wasn't going to make it happen. You get what I'm saying? So I wish she would have went more into questions with that. Yeah. Like, what do you mean you thought it was going to happen? Was there flights that kept getting delayed? The cars kept breaking down? It's like, I need to know what that means. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
And also, don't mistake my not too sureness about her for excusing him, because he's like 50-something years old and still playing games. Like, what are we even doing, sir? So he's a hot mess as well.
Let's go.
The ladies and the guys all get back to the house. Joanna and Dominique are from the same place in Chicago, like we were saying earlier.
To the point where I see more expression from her with this guy than the guy that she's actually with.
True.
You get what I'm saying?
Josh is just really happy to be around Shay. Okay. He feels amazing to the point that they decided to shower with each other.
Okay.
So
nasty.
Alexis is saying, everybody seems cool. She's talking to Aaron. Somehow in this conversation, Aaron tells us that he raps.
Oh my goodness.
And then he drops like a little 16 or 8 or something like that. And, she's bigging him up. And Dominique really isn't feeling Alexis being so friendly.
Now, what was your thoughts on that? Because in my head, I'm like, you just high five a girl from the same city as you, the same hood as you. How come she can't enjoy this man raps?
Yeah, I felt the same way. I was just like, we all have to live together. Yeah. So we should all get in a place of getting to know each other and being friendly. I can understand the I wouldn't even call it insecurity, but of just like not liking it. I get it, because it's like, look, I just met you and now you're also just meeting other men.
Yeah.
So it can turn into a thing of, you're here for me, but you might actually find somebody that you click with better in person. So I can see the unsurety there. But ultimately, we all live together. We should all be able to have a good time and talk to everybody.
And that's what it comes down to, 100% what you said. One thing I want to add is going back to what he said when he described her. He said, I can work with that. He doesn't think that she's attractive enough. He doesn't think that she's worthy enough. So that's why he's nitpicking at her and things like that. I will say this, though. I think her name is Alexis.
Yeah.
Right? She's shown more interest in his little terrible raps than his own girl, Joanna. You know what I'm saying? And granted, he didn't rap for Joanna. But I find it very interesting that this stranger has shown herself to be more friendly to him.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Besides the girl that he's with. Listen here, I know y'all see me. I look all dapper with my little lamb sweater and things like that. Y'all probably don't know what city we live in because I'm always wearing hats and things of that nature. And y'all probably say, Christopher, you are an hilarious guy on these reviews. Thank you, right? But trust me, there are some things, even me, that I do that you can probably be like, that's kind of corny. That's kind of whack. Why did you do that? But guess who's my number one fan every time I do something? My wife. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm looking for yes, he has a lisp, but that's my man. Yes, he don't know how to salsa, but that's my man. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't see that from Joanna.
Yeah.
I see her viewing him as, this is the first time I'm meeting you. I don't really know if I like you yet. But I'm like, y'all dating, though. Like, y'all are together. So that's why I'm like, this woman has shown more interest in his little terrible raps or like his whole personality than his own girl Joanna. Keep a look on that.
Yeah. The guys are having a little chat in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Chris is loud and proud talking about how he talks to women, then he disappears.
Oh my goodness.
He says a woman is always looking for the D. He says that he and Sandia aren't even exclusive.
Wait a minute.
He gets girls so easy. And Sandia is standing in the kitchen listening to all of this. Chris asked her if she could leave.
Yeah, please. I'm talking to the fellas. Now, this was her concern with him. She talked about he is too much of a flirt.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm just like, oh my goodness, this not even, y'all haven't even went to bed yet.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
All right. Next, we've got the guys and the ladies all in the kitchen. Yeah. Alexis is cracking on Greg's hoochie daddy shorts. Dominique thinks she was overly commenting on the shorts and flirting in front of him.
Your thoughts on that?
My thoughts is, I don't think she was flirting with him. I think she was cracking jokes. And honestly, to me, it seemed like Greg was a little bit uncomfortable too. Like, not to the point of telling her to stop, but just to be like, okay, like, pay attention to something else. I don't know. That's just how it came across to me.
Yeah, I ain't pick up on that last part. Alexis, here's the unfortunate thing that y'all women have to live with. You can't be nice because that's flirting.
Yeah.
I think Alexis is just the life of the party, just using that as an analogy.
Okay.
And because she is being nice and because she's being open, right, it's flirting to Dominique. You get what I'm saying? It speaks to his insecurity. So I think she just basically, you know how you make fun of somebody, but you do it in a joking way? Basically, the shorts is too high. That's basically the premise of the whole thing. Yeah. And she be like, okay, you should got on the hoochie daddy shorts. You know what I mean? So I didn't see it as flirting. I just saw it as, okay, she is the one that is the life of the party. Okay. You know what I'm saying? She's going to make her voice known. She's going to make her presence seen because she's just talking. You know what I mean? So I didn't see it as flirting. But Dominique, he's probably not a nice guy. I'm just using this as an example. I don't know who he is. He's probably not a nice guy. And many times than not, if you with someone who's not nice, they don't want their partner to be nice either.
Right. Or like friendly.
Yeah,
like
friendly. Friendly is a better word.
Yeah, I can absolutely understand and see that because she's fine with talking to anybody. Yeah. She'll sit and hold a conversation with anybody, crack jokes, listen to folks rap, and start up conversations. And I can understand if he's not that way, then he could probably think she's really disrespecting me in front of my face.
And being flirty. Yeah, exactly.
Rather than seeing that this is who she is as a person. Yeah. Well, it's 2:40 in the morning.
In the morning.
Dominique says that Alexis has been saying stuff that seems flirty. Mm-hmm. She wishes that he would have pulled her to the side if it was really a real issue. Mm-hmm. Alexis does apologize, but he brought up the example of, I mean, what would you say if I was sitting up here telling a girl that she has a fat booty while you over here telling a guy that he has on hoochie daddy shorts?
Apples and oranges.
Alexis apologized, but she was like, look, I'm not going to trip if you say that a woman has a big booty. Like that's not going to make me not have a big booty. Like, what is that supposed to mean? So they're laughing and joking at first, but then they end up arguing and getting to pushing and getting physical with each other. And that's where the episode ends.
Listen, I already knew that they were about to start swinging because I seen this all through school. Right? That couple that basically, whenever things get a little too hot, when things get confrontational, they kind of laughing their way through it. Then all of a sudden, you hear a smack. You know what I mean? I'm like, whoa, what just happened? So that's why in my head, when I was watching, I was like, somebody get them before they start swinging on each other. And of course, you hear it in the previews for next episode. They was like, I thought they was laughing, and then that's when they wasn't, and then they swinging on each other. Now they cussing at each other. I'm like, y'all need to grow up where like these people be at. Yeah. Because I saw it coming a mile away. First of all, Dominique, I don't even know what you on, brother. Like I can't even tell you what you on because I felt like he was trying to pick a fight. I feel like Dominique was just trying to mark his territory, mark his power in a way. Basically, like, you know what? You did this, you did that, you did this, and you shouldn't do that. Now, mind you, this is less than 24 hours of them actually meeting with each other. So I don't really understand why he felt so strongly and wanted to pick an argument at 3 o'clock in the morning talking about something like, what if I go and say a girl got a big booty and things like that? Listen, you gonna do what you want to do anyway, man. Like they ain't never stop any. Listen here, having a girl or having a wife never stop a guy from acknowledging another big booty. So that's why I don't understand what was his point. Even when she apologized, because she apologized, and you could tell she just wanted to apologize just to get past it. Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
Because she didn't agree, and she thought it was dumb.
She thought it was dumb, but she didn't say it was dumb. Yeah, she actually apologized, but he kept egging it on. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? What you thought about that last scene?
No, I thought it was wild that it ended up getting physical. Like he was like really like bucking at her and getting in her face and stuff like that. Like he wanted to fight her. Like I was shocked by that. I didn't know how it turned to that. So no, I was just like, oh yeah, they probably don't need to be together. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they get kicked off the show.
They're not getting kicked off the show. I'm telling you that right now. I'm telling you this right now. If they get kicked off the show, that's like kicking me off the show. Okay. Okay. But so far, what I think about the series, terrible title.
Absolutely.
Terrible title.
So long.
Right? But they got me in.
Yeah, I'm glued in.
Anything else that you want to share on this first episode?
That's all I got.
Listen here, subscribe, like, share, comment. Definitely leave a like. Please leave a like and subscribe. We got more. We gonna be better in episode 2. You get what I'm saying? But don't judge us. You know what I'm saying? Love us.
Or do whatever.
Exactly. Anything else?
That's it.
Y'all be good.
Bye.